What is up, you guys? Welcome to the video that has been asked for. I wasn't even going to do it, but I feel like we could hang out and I can give you a full kitchen tour. So we completely gutted, I think is the right term, this entire, not just kitchen, but front entrance and powder room. So I was going to give an entire tour now that everything pretty much is completed. I would still love some feedback and some ideas on a couple little projects. We have Carl here with us who wants to go outside. Surprise, surprise, you're going to make it about you 100%. So I'm going to give you guys a tour of everything. One thing that I am going to do that I did not do in our last house, and I would get asked all the time about what's the tile and what's the accessories or the paint colors. And I didn't note anything whenever we were designing that house. So I didn't have that information this time. I wrote it all down and I kept it and I logged it. So I'll be able to share a lot of the finishes, the appliances, the things that we got. Some super affordable, some a little bit more of a splurge in certain areas. So I think it was like a nice balance that we did. And the coolest part is that we really went at this ourselves as a couple. It was it was not stressful. That is not the right word. It was daunting to choose all the different finishes, and to watch it come together was so rewarding. But the process of it, you really had to trust thyself. So let's go through this. It's a beautiful spring day. So while I keep an eye on him, one goal that's the next question I keep getting asked is like, what else do you want to do? Well, okay, one, the kitchen was plenty and it was a lot, but I think that the next goal will definitely be exterior spaces. So I can take you outside real quick and we can talk about that. He has no intent. Are you going to go potty or are you just hanging out? So one thing that I would love to do would be to create a space out here that is, it's already very usable, but more usable as an extension to the kitchen. So in our hunt for a new house, which was now over 2 years ago when we were searching for this house, we had toured a house that I fell in love with. I loved that they had this, I might be able to pull up the photo. They had this long, would we call it a veranda, like a screened in porch. And all the doors to the house were open because it just extended to the porch, and then the porch was sealed. And I loved that. I loved that they had such like an outdoor living. The other thing that I would love to do is to be able to create like a glass enclosure up here, to be able to almost create like a solarium style. I feel like that'd be so fun. Kind of like a solarium. I feel like that would be so nice. We would have to figure out a plan for the barbecue because I don't think, right? You wouldn't put a barbecue in an enclosed space, I'm guessing. I don't know how we would do that. I would also love to screen it in, obviously. So that would be a really cool future project. One thing that is already in the works is just on the other side of this porch. So on the other side of this porch, we have our hot tub, and we want to, you going to show them? You going to show them? It's so nice out. The lake is still frozen. We definitely need to restain the deck. So on this rock out here, where it's kind of coming out here, we want to almost create like a spa type of like wilderness escape. So we'd love to build a sauna, move this hot tub away from the deck so that we can actually have like a nice big staircase, nestle the hot tub on the lower level so that nothing is blocked, kind of redo the fire area because right now it's just very makeshift. Do like a whole garden area, which has already been started, and just kind of work through that. And then long-term goal, I shared this in a prior video and I kind of scoped this out the other day. I went for a wilderness walk. So just beyond this rock is where I would like my she shed to be. I want to build a painting studio, like a creativity space. I feel like that'd be so fun. You want to come inside now? You ready? So now that you have the update on the outside and you can stay tuned for those projects, we're going to go inside where it's a lot cozier. We're going to bring Carl with us. Come on, little man. He cannot be outside here by himself. Just a bird will carry him away. I'm pretty sure. I shouldn't laugh because it could actually happen. He's a feisty little feller. So this is the view from this side. I often get asked too if this is like a public road. It's not even a road. It's more like a path to go down to the water, and no, that's on our property. So everything's very private, which we love. So I would love to extend this deck out, be able to have a dining table in here. Let's talk about that as well, and screen it in. But let's go inside. So yeah, imagine like there would be so much more light coming in just because that awning really blocks a lot. But imagine I could just leave this open all the time. It'd be amazing. Okay, I got a lot of questions whenever I first shared. So when we came back, I think it was my first video back. I took like a month off. I did a digital detox. The biggest question overall, everybody was very kind. And this wasn't like an unkind question. It was like, wait, but now you don't have a dining table. Like, where are you going to eat? We have never eaten in the kitchen, our like dining area. I will show you. Barkart, so happy with this. Carl's little area with his blanket. But this is where we eat. I literally didn't even clean up. I will never be the vlogger that like stages our house or stages thyself. Like, I'll always be the person with like hairs flying out of, anyways. But yeah, this is our setup from last night's dinner. This is where we eat. I had a blanket because I was chilly yesterday, but we roll the TV over and we'll either watch a show or we'll just chill. But this is our dining room. I used to work out here too. Like, I use it as an office, but we love this room. So this is our dining room. It's not hard. We just carry the food across to here. But we're not like kitchen eaters, especially like at lunch and breakfast for sure. But at dinner, we kind of like a sit down moment. So it's kind of nice that it's in there. So yeah, that's where the dining table is. But we would love for it to be right there. I think that'd be so cool, especially in the summer. So, all right, let's talk about the kitchen. There's so much to talk about. I feel like the first thing we start with would be a before. Now that we're like 6 minutes into this video. So when we first left in January, so what we did is we actually just took kind of a vacation and our contractors came in and they just gutted the whole place. So there was a lot of red before. It was not, I feel like we modernized it, but without taking away the rustic charm. One thing that we really wanted was the stone arch. We wanted a new floor. So there was a lot to change, like very overwhelmingly. The pantry was in a completely different area. The pantry was like wire shelving. There was just a lot that we wanted to update. And we also saw the potential in the size of the kitchen, just to be able to make it like a real cooking kitchen that we could truly use, that wasn't so crammed and that would just have so much more space for us to both enjoy cooking. So one of the biggest changes I would say was the floor. We decided to create like a diagonal line straight through, just so that it wouldn't, I felt like it would be so weird to walk in and for there to just be like a slice. So I'm all about like angles and things like imperfections. I would rather things have charm and character than something to be like tight and perfect, especially in this house. It's so much more forgiving and so much more fun. One thing that visually you can't see that they ended up doing, and I'll explain that when we get to the powder room part, all of these walls internally were moved over. So one of the biggest changes that we wanted to allow for the kitchen to kind of go around the corner was to have the pantry door here. So one of the projects that aren't done, one of the tiny little things that the contractors just still have to finish is just around the top beams here. They need to do the caulking. I had mentioned on a prior video, if that's literally the only thing that's left, I mean, they passed with flying colors. So one thing that I took on as like a little project with a friend of ours who's also a carpenter, he is going to build us a kind of like Beauty and the Beast ladder, like a library ladder that hooks onto, I'm going for like a brass color, like a railing that would be up there, like a rail that it would hook onto, and then another rail inside the pantry because I need to be able to reach the top shelves in here. It goes pretty high. So I think it'd be really cool that for 99% of the time that we just have almost like an art statement, like a ladder. And I think it would add some rustic charm. The other thing, this is where your opinions are going to come in. I think that in time, instead of just having like a flat white wall right here, so over the hood of the stove as well as this wall, I think that's it, I would leave the ceilings. I think it would be so freaking cool to do like a plaster kind of finish, very subtle, but just to add a little bit more character. I feel like that'd be really cool. So let's talk about the pantry. The pantry was around the corner, a lot smaller, and I wanted it to look like a dark, moody Pinterest pantry. And I feel like we succeeded. So we painted the ceilings green. I think the last time you saw it, the ceilings might not have been green. And one little detail that I think was the right call was to leave the beam up there exposed, just again, to add character. So I had got these they were in the last pantry, but these little general store crates. I can link as much as possible down below. I got these from a local store, but I'm pretty sure you can get them online. And they have everything in French too, which I thought was really charming and cute. So these are for like potatoes and stuff, but I actually, what do I have in here? Oh, coffee pods in here. So one thing that was really, really concerning me when we were away from the project, I was panicking over how much space and storage space there would be in the kitchen, like actually storage space, because I knew that we had countertops and we had the fridge and a bigger stove going in, but I was like, how much actual space do I have to put my stuff? Because that was a big thing. I just wanted room to have things like a bread maker. And if I wanted to like display food, that we would have that space, like just more utilitarian. I don't know how to say it, just more usable. There was way more space than I thought, so it was great, but it was the one thing I was concerned about. So on this side here, right when you walk into the pantry, there is just a very narrow shelf. So I did a display. We actually use all of these except for, let me tell you, the spaghetti. Because if you mix two types of spaghettis and they take two different lengths of time, we learned that the hard way. So this is for display. We use this. Andre uses this as his snacks at night. This is our rice that we constantly fill up. And then we have these noodles that we just buy the same one. So maybe we'll try and do the same with spaghetti, but we seem to never be able to remember. So what I was going for was like an Italian kind of moody vibe. So I've got some seasonings, garlic, pasta sauce. This also doesn't go here, but that's all right. So pasta sauce is things that we use a lot. I store our bread in here. And then I just covered the little plug back here with a little plant. And then we had got these when we first moved in and I actually really like them. So this little toaster and then this little microwave. They're not huge, but I feel like they're a vibe, especially the matte black with the brass. Love. And then in here, oh my gosh, if you follow on Instagram, you're going to laugh. What this is. For the babies, for the chipmunks, okay? And then I brought this home from Disney World. This is for display, so I guess, yeah. We use it. Honey, breakfast stuff, just a lot of honeys, maple syrup. I have my pre-workouts up here. I think I want to clean these all out, though, and take the labels off. It's not a vibe. This is like s'mores stuff and like candies. And then just a health tip. I have things up there that I don't want to touch, like chocolate bars and snacks, but I know that they're up there. Also, the organization levels of these drawers. So in here, we just have placemats and like extra vitamins. But my canned area, so I have kind of like a little backfill can area. So it goes like under. So I have some crushed tomatoes and sauces and soups and stuff, vegetables, and then I have like baking stuff. So pumpkin, evaporated milk, just like that. And then I have like a little step thing. It's working really well. So basically I know that just cans go in here. And I love, by the way, the hardware. I'll show you a close up in the better lighting. And then under here is my chocolates, but I have soups, like any pasta, rice, oats. This would be a carb drawer is how I would explain it. And then I have my protein bars, breakfast stuff. So yeah, overall, I feel like it's very well organized and I think it's just going to get better as we go. When we first got back, we originally had a sensor light on it and we had to take it off because it was driving me crazy. So this way we can just turn it off and it doesn't keep turning on. One thing that will get changed, this is my morning coffee, is this countertop. It's beautiful, but the finish on it is like it's uncoated, I guess is how you would say. So even just the oils from our arms are starting to stain it, or like the other day I left a wine glass on it, or I think like a cup, and it you know, like how a cup can sweat. So it left a little stain. So I think just coating this, but the other thing too is I would rather it match. So yeah, I guess so this would be something else that needs to get fixed, but we need to wait for warmer weather apparently. So I'm thinking the big part of this is the coloring. So I feel like there's this color and then there's like the grayish color of everything else. And then there's the color of the hood vent and of course the walls. So I feel like the hood vent kind of goes with the walls and then there's the gray, but then you have this too. So it's like, there's a lot happening. So we're thinking this, I would love your thoughts. Do we match this to the gray wood or do we match it to the hood vent, which I can show you? So the same guy that built this built that hood vent, which is spectacular. So I will show you that. But this is our bar area. I freaking love it. I built these, whenever I say build, it's because I'm proud of myself, so give me grace. I put together the bar stools, but you know when you buy stuff online and it comes in like a million pieces and you're just tired and you just want it to be put together? That's how these felt. But it was such a win because they were really inexpensive compared to every other bar stool, but they were giving like Italy and they had the gray finish and then like the boucle, like a boucle finish. Here, okay, but here's the thing, like I swear if one guest drops freaking wine on it, I'm gonna die. I had a bad experience once. So yeah, these, I'm so happy with it. The original concept was that we wanted it to look very rustic, as though the Seven Dwarfs cottage was in Italy. That's what we were going for. And I feel like we succeeded. This olive tree was a huge inspiration. We already had it. It's originally from Costco. It was like a viral Costco product. But I got it at a thrift shop because I found it on Facebook Marketplace. So not only did I find said viral product, I got it for half off. So it was great. And it was like brand new. I love it. Costco has great artificial plants, by the way. So that's what that is. And then I want to do like a little uplight in there. So yeah, this with the arch worked perfectly. So happy. So this, and then we had this little like olive oil container that was also a huge inspiration for the kitchen. This is for, this is like a Christmas decoration that I had originally bought, but I use it now for any baked goods. So let's say like we just had people over the other day, I'll put like muffins or like cupcakes or whatever in here. So I kind of like the vibe of it. And then I bought this little candle holder, and then I've got our candles, one of our candles going. It smells like tropical, like Aulani coconut, just paradise. I love it. The one thing I do need to buy though is something for this table. I don't know what to put in the middle of this table. So this table just came in. This space is now complete, which I love. So I will link these as well. These were such a steal. You can completely customize them. You can choose the color. Honestly, they were like a quarter of the price of what everybody else was quoting me. So I got this done, and then you can do like a grip on the bottom. So I did like this, the black grip. You can choose the thickness. So I did a little bit thicker on the bottom and then thinner on the top. And I was gonna like sew in some Velcro to hold these to the wall, but they're staying really well. These are from Home Goods, so I can't link these, but they're like a perfect soft linen. The table is from Restoration Hardware. It literally just arrived and it's perfect. We were having so much trouble. So this would be a splurge. So there was a lot of savings. This would be a little splurge moment, but since I'm gonna work at it and we're gonna eat at this, I felt like it was important. So the base has the matching brass color of what we have as our hardware. So it worked out really well. And then with like the gray wood top, I love it. I love it. And then the light fixture I got from, what is the brand of light called? Oh my gosh, what is it called? Visual Comfort is what the company is called of this light. And then we have the same company of lights in the bathroom. So this, again, this would be a splurge, but I feel like for the accent pieces, it kind of made sense. And then there was other things that were like a total steal. So island area and then storage. I'm going to show you you wanted a tour. I'm showing you everything. Look at the freaking storage. Look at it. So in here, I have all my pots and pans. Most of it, I would say like 90% of it is a brand called Caraway. Andre and I for Christmas got each other kitchen stuff like real adults, but they have beautiful stuff. And I love the matte black. And then the extras, which you can barely tell the difference, just the weight, you can definitely tell the difference. These are Walmart and they're so pretty with like the gold speckles. All are very clean, like without like toxin free. This item here needs to go on, like you can put it up and then it'll hold your covers. That plug that you can see back there, let me show you. So we figured, especially Andre, if he sets up here to work, just under here, and this is like a really good tip if you're building a kitchen, have like a USB and plug just all over the place, especially if you're techies. Do you want to show them your area? Are you trying to make it about you? Yes, you are. Come on. So this is our coffee area, but more importantly than that, this is Carl's little eatery. We call this his office. So he's got his little lick mat. You gonna have your breakfast? This is his lick mat. It's awesome because you can put like yogurt and all sorts of stuff on it and then you just wash it. So it's just way more clean. And then he has this little cup of water. And then his photo, which I thought was so cute. So this is our coffee area. One idea that we do have is to maybe get a coffee machine that has like a brass detail on it. I know that there's an espresso. I think it's called the Virtue line, like the one that makes the bigger cups of coffee. This one just does like the espresso and the longo. Then these little houses have become my entire personality for a year. I love them. This was the idea, that they would be displayed in the kitchen. I put together this on camera, this coffee hook rod. I almost died doing it because it was a heck of a workout because this is like solid wood, so it was crazy to drill through it. I put some really nice fancy cups up top. And then again, I had done a lot of this on camera. So I did this like little olive thing on camera. And then these little cups, which honestly we don't use. They're just really pretty. They're for display. Kettle, we use this all the time. And then I have my kitchen speaker for when I'm cooking and I want to blast my music. In here I keep our nighttime teas. So everything is, again, very usable, very accessible. So we keep all our vitamins in here, and then in here is like supplements and coffee. It took a while to figure out where we wanted everything. And then here I have my plants, my little herb garden. I got this sink from Michael's, and again, put it all together on camera in another video. Another bench, and then next to Carl's area is where we keep his food. You already have your food. You gonna eat it? Go ahead. If you hear crunching, guys, I'm sorry. So then over here is the, like a prep sink. I got asked that question a lot too. I got asked, why do we have this sink and the big sink? Like, why would you do that? One, the size of the kitchen, it just makes sense, but we genuinely, like, we didn't do anything that we didn't plan on using. So this is really a prep sink. This is like when I'm cooking, if I want to rinse out vegetables. I love this sink because it's a, what do you call it? Like there's a word for it. It's like not a chef's sink. There's a specific word for the type of sink that this is, where you can put things in it, which I thought was so cool. So this was sitting on display. They had like a really pretty display of this where we bought our stove. And I thought it was so freaking cool. A task sink? Something like a functional sink. So this is a drying rack, and there's a lip on here, like a little ledge, and you can fit either the cutting board in there or the drying rack, and it just makes so much flippin' sense. So you can dry stuff on here, and then at the bottom, and then I keep it in our utensil drawer right here. So this is where we have our utensils. And then even for Christmas, one of the gifts, again, we adulted, but these were the utensils that we got, and they're so pretty. So this is how I store the drying rack here, and then we have some extra knives, and then our main utensils, and then some little charcuterie knives here. I told you, I'm showing you everything. Oh, okay, so here's the hardware. It's so pretty. It's like a brass, but it's like hammered kind of. I feel like it had a name like Alpine something. I will find you everything. It's gonna take me forever to find all the names of everything. This is for my husband. This is all the shaker cups in one area, straws, lids, Stanley lids. It was driving me crazy to have that messy. And then under here, I think it's just candles, the smoking machine to smoke drinks and stuff, protein shakes, protein coffee, and the little tea light candles. So I just kind of put the extras down there for now. Under the sinks is the only area I haven't organized yet. I mean, it's semi-organized, but it needs to be definitely cleaned up. So yeah, the company of the sink is called Calia, a task sink. It's driving me nuts. I'll share. So there's a mat too for the bottom. See, I didn't clean the sink before we filmed this. And then that way, it's really awesome because if I want to just grab the cutting board, and let's say Andre's doing dishes or whatever, we can both comfortably cook in the kitchen together without being on top of each other, which was really the goal. The other goal, which we have to talk about, was to find a beautiful, I should have cleaned the counter before we start, a beautiful yet forgiving countertop. The last kitchen before we gutted it it was great. It was very charming. You could lose a small child in the countertop. Like there would be spaghetti sauce that we wouldn't even see. So we wanted a nice marriage between clean, but not so forgiving that you can't find spaghetti sauce. So it's forgiving. It does not stain. And it was so reasonable for how pretty it is. So let me show you. So there's all these like little like vein details in here. And it's almost a shade. There is a very slight green tint to it, so it goes very well with the kitchen. It has like a grayish tone, but it's so forgiving. Like if there is like a glass or whatever, like right now, it's not clean right now. Like I did not wipe it down. Like there's a stain over here. There's coffee right here, but it's forgiving, which that was the whole point. So love that. And I love how much, I think the biggest change with this kitchen is how much brighter it is. It's so much brighter. One thing that was so special and so sweet is the previous owners left us this. When we were touring the house for the first time, I was like, this is the coolest thing. So we actually use it all the time. It's a wine bottle opener. So you just kind of it works so freaking well. And it's just like, it's one of those things that's just like really charming and really special. So this is the cooking area. This was the other piece of inspiration for the entire flippin' kitchen. So random, but this and my little big olive tree, I was like, that's the inspiration. So we have plugs everywhere. Let me show you this tile as well as the lighting close up. I'm trying to show you as much as possible, but if you have questions, by all means. This tile took forever to decide on because I didn't know if it was too white. There was also a gray one and there was also a green one, which we ended up buying, and it's in the powder room. So there's like crackles in it. It's so pretty and so rustic, and there's so many like details. It's the white turned out. So we ended up getting the white of this one. Again, such a reasonable tile, like insanely well priced. Like I was shocked. Not like super discount, but a very reasonable option, especially compared to that one. But that one was a feature, and I can link that one for you. I'm pretty sure I just got it online. I think I got it from Wayfair. So that one was a little bit more. I'm pretty sure that one was around $25 Canadian a square foot, which is very expensive. I think this one was like $3 a square foot. So just to give you an idea, I also got this open box clearance, and yes, we use it. I get asked that in the Disney house too, like, do you actually use your pot filler? Yes, all the time. And yes, I realize that there's pot fillers that you can buy that you can like blow your brains out and buy something that's like super overpriced. This one was very reasonable, and we use it all the time. And what is a pot filler, you ask? It is literally a tap to fill your pot of water. So if you're cooking noodles or vegetables or steaming something, it is so practical to not have to move the pots around. Might seem extra, but it's actually something that we use all the time. Okay, the oven and the vent. Cool story. I shared this in a previous video, but the carpenter that made this gave many issues. How would we say that? He cared a lot. And I love people that care a lot. He carved the like details in this so that it would look like one solid piece of wood, fit this custom into it. Like, he cared a lot. So the question is, do we match the bar top to this, or do we match it to the gray finish of the cabinetry? I don't know. It's still up in the air. Carl's playing, if you can hear him. So this is the stove. It's called Aga. So there is multiple compartments. I will say it is a phenomenal stove. I have used this thing so much. The only thing I have not used, which you can use for like bacon and vegetables and whatever, is the broiler. So apparently, like online, all the reviews, people use this the least. I don't see myself using it a ton, but it is awesome. Okay, so I use this all the time. Can I show you the coolest thing? So the other day, my parents came over, we cooked a feast, and my mom felt terrible because she's like, we're dripping cheese in the bottom. I was like, it doesn't matter. I can just slide this out and just clean this instead of cleaning the whole dang oven. Cool, right? So, because there's no glass, the evenness at which things bake and cook is insane. So this side is an oven, this side is another oven, but with more settings. So I use this one when I'm cooking like pizza or like a dish. If I'm just baking like muffins, this side. And then under here is a warming drawer / storage. Over here I have my utensils. I got these at Home Goods the other day and they match the kitchen. These are from the same brand as our pots and pans. I have my little salt pot down here, my little sea salt pot. Oh, also a question that I get, why do I have an electric cooktop? Well, we have gas in Florida. Being able to compare the two, I think I'm more of an induction gal. From what I've noticed, the induction can boil water faster, like much faster. And if you've followed me for any amount of time, I've said this in so many videos. I have like a slight fear of fire. It's kind of weird. So no fire. So it's great. Also, we're in the middle of nowhere. You can't do that. You pretty much have to have an electric stovetop. But I prefer it. So this has, and the reason for the size of it, the one we had before was, I believe, like a 36. This is a 48-inch stove. So just more space. So literally, if Andre and I are cooking side by side, we can totally do that comfortably. That was kind of the theme. The lighting above here, I did 2 little sconces on either side with some Edison bulbs. Again, if you can hear Carl's, because he wants his toys and he's playing. He wants more toys. So we have the 2 little sconces here. It just adds a little bit of depth and dimension. It's really pretty. So again, the plaster detail, I was thinking about putting that up there in time. And then here I got like a 15-piece cooking set. I need to get rid of the red ones. Those are old. And then these ones with the brass are from Walmart. Same as the knife set that we got. And then the arch is so freaking pretty. So this arch was to mimic the arch when you come into the kitchen. It's perfection. I freaking love it. The mosaic tile here is stunning. It was just more of a splurge. One thing that was really crazy that they had to do was actually pull off the original window features and then like repaint some of them and recreate them. So this is the original one. This they recreated from the original window frame. So insane. These little guys are from my parents and I feel like they go so perfectly. And then I can see Dale's house out there. Dale's my chipmunk. And then this is our front porch. So this is the farmhouse sink that we got. We did not buy a new dishwasher. We had this one. Okay, such a cool tip if you're trying to save some money and you want to do some renos. We had this one wrapped by a guy that wraps cars. So it's not going to last forever and it's not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper than buying a whole new dishwasher. There's a lot of cool compartments too in the kitchen. This for my Ninja Creamy. This is exactly what I wanted. Space for things like frivolities like this, that it wouldn't be all over the counters. So just nice storage. Knife set, we talked about that. The sink was a little bit of a splurge, but if you're going to buy a farmhouse sink, they're all apparently very expensive. I just love how freaking forgiving it is. Like, it doesn't scratch, it doesn't stain, it's so pretty. And then I love that we have like the black detail. This, we did a black. This one was super savings. I think we got this from Home Depot. And then there's like a little chrome detail on here. And then we have the little green tea soap that we got at the same store as where we got all of our stuff for our pantry. So I got this little plant, I think at Home Goods. And it was really just to kind of hide the plugs and everything. I love a kitchen lamp. I freaking love a kitchen lamp. So this one you can like dim it and turn it off and on. Whenever I need to charge it, I just kind of hide the wires behind this thing. I love it. This is my coffee from this morning. And then we decided to have like kind of a little shelf area. This is one of my, right here is like my favorite, minus my bunny bowl, which is still pretty, but this mixer is one of my, I use it all the time. If you don't use your mixer, if you have a KitchenAid mixer and you're like, I never use it, same, I never use my mixer, leave it on the counter. The hardest part, it's crazy. You don't take it out of the cupboard because it's so freaking heavy. So when it's out on the counter, you use it. I use this thing, I have used this easily 20 times this month. Like, I freaking love it. I use it all the time and it does way more than I thought. Like, I want to get all the attachments. So the bowl is wood, but it is like dishwasher and washable safe and all that. And it's in like a dusty green color and I freaking love it. And then these are from our old house. They say one says Brunello and one says another type of wine. And it's just, it goes with the Italy theme. I freaking love it. So I got these grapes off of Amazon. I got this little pot, I think at Michael's maybe. Some vines from Michael's. I got those from Michael's. Same with the vase. I think I got the vase at Home Goods. And then I had this from our old house. So it's still a work in progress, but I like it. And then this is really just functional. These are for tomatoes. Andre's literally gone to groceries right now. And then I baked some bread. I don't know who I am. If you bake bread, you need this. It's like a beeswax bag, so it'll keep it fresh, but also non-toxic. And then this is for vegetables as well. Not vegetables, what am I saying? Fruits. Another one of those plug things. I just got these off of Amazon. So one has a USB-C, USB, and then 2 plugs. Very useful. I feel like we've covered all of this. These drawers are super functional also. All the foil, like you can just get these off of Amazon. So, we need more Ziplocs. Wax paper, foil, it's in here. And then there's like a little cutter. It's perfect. And then Tupperwares under here. And then in here I have like extra cooking, and then I have the, what do you call this? For the air fryer. Speaking of which, appliances go under here. So we have an indoor grill, because winter, and then the air fryer. Okay, our air fryer is not pretty, but it's so good. So that's where we keep that. So everything just kind of makes sense. Oh, and then my camera died. So we're going old school with this. So if it's shakier, I'm so sorry. But I was not expecting this video to be this long, but I'm kind of loving that you're seeing absolutely freaking everything. So we went through this. I shared the sink, shared the dishwasher, I shared the appliances. So random, but it matters. And we still need to take out the garbage, but we have, so messy. So we basically have 3 compartments for garbage. So we have garbage, recycling, and then in the back is where we store, it's like a 3-thing compartment. And through the drawer, it's what we had at our old house and it just works for us, but the back storage is so helpful for if you recycle your Nespresso pods, you can use it for that, or just storing the actual garbage bags. Random, but it's stuff that I would have wanted to know. So storage. Okay, this made me so happy. It's pretty much empty. That's like our summer stuff. So if we go down to the dock, coffee, and then for paddleboarding for like coolers and stuff. And then this is probably the cupboard that we use the most, like just everyday glasses. So I have the mason jars, 2 wine glasses. By the way, people get a kick out of this. This is what we use for wine. At least it's what I use for wine. They're like $3. I love them. Extra martini glasses, stemmed wine glass, which we use when we have company. I don't really use these. Audrey uses them. These are I still have these if you've been following for a long time. My fishbowl margarita glasses. These are kind of for like a Coke or if you're feeling zazzy. The mason jars I use all the time. And then we have just extra coffee cups. These are kind of our go-to coffee cups for almost every day. And then Andre drinks his wine out of these. We are stemless wine glass drinkers mostly because Andre doesn't like putting a stemmed glass in the dishwasher. Ladies, anybody else's husband? Or maybe it's the ladies that feel, I don't know. For me, I like a stem glass, but I also like my little teacup. And then under here, so I went through and I organized the cupboards like we were moving into a new house. It was very daunting. Under here, I have all of our snacks, our evening snacks, and then just little bowls, 4 said snacks, and then just tiny bowls. Crackers. Oh, that's where my croutons are. Couldn't remember. Everything is soft close, which I love. It was not in the old kitchen. And then I love this little space that I created. So I got some cookbooks at Home Goods. I also just went to the discount area at the bookstore. Are you serious? You okay? You all right? I went to the discount area at the bookstore and I just found just some that were on brand. So I genuinely want to use these. I also got this little thing to put a candle on. I thought that was cute. This is my water bottle that I'm actually drinking out of. And then paper towel under here. I like this little area a lot. And then again, with the appliances, my bread maker and the little accessories for it are under here. And then I have our guacamole bowl. I love that bread maker. I would leave it out on the counter because it's so pretty, but I don't like having all the things out. And then one thing that I was look how forgiving our countertop is. Can you see all the crumbs? But then you can't see it from, anyways, I love it. We didn't really talk about the tap, but I can link the taps as well. Super affordable. I think this was a comparable would have been $1,500. I think we got it for $250, $300. It was very good, especially, and it's called a bar sink situation. That's kind of how I would explain it. It's this is a bar sink, a prep sink. And then that's the dishes, if that makes sense. These, I love that we did this. So this was, I believe, the contractor's decision. So the other drawers go all the way to here. And he was like, well, we're not just going to close it off. So they're very narrow, but we use them for our glasses. So champagne glasses, bar glasses, shakers, shot glasses. These are actually they're shot glasses that we use for limoncello, but they're actually Nespresso glasses. They're beautiful. This is all the stuff that we don't really use very often, but it's there. Beer glasses, and then all the wine stuff, so to open the wine glasses. And then in here is my little mini bottles of champagne, and then just our booze. So it was super practical and just a great decision. And then speaking of practical, this needs to be set up, but we created, and it has power, so my mop and everything is gonna go in here, and then the cleaning stuff will go on the shelves. I think they built us 3 shelves so I can stack them. And then just a cool tip, these are amazing. So I have them upstairs. They have the sticky pad that you can put, but then it doesn't ruin your walls. And then you can put something like this, like a Swiffer, in this little, it'll see? And then it'll go, oh, my finger. Or you can use these, and then what you do is you hook the edge of your cleaning product on the edge. So this is gonna be my little cleaning area. And then because we live in the country, I have to show you how amazing Andre's grandmother was. Still, she lives on, but she got us this from an infomercial, and I feel like she'd be so touched to know that we still have it. This was before we lived in the country, but we do lose power sometimes. We have, knock on wood, the only time that we lost power was so perfect was, you have to go back and watch it, the Halloween day routine video from this year. Epic video. Lost power. It was so creepy on Halloween day. We lose power for like 2 seconds. So it happened last night where it just flickers. But in case we do, is this not giving Jurassic Park? Is this not incredible? And then you can like hang it on stuff, and there's magnets. So we have one of these downstairs as well, but I keep one up here. And it's just, I don't know how it always just lives on, because I've never charged this thing or changed the batteries, but we're still going. There's a hook if you need it. She'd be so proud that we love this thing so much. And then again with appliances, I have blender and juicer. I want to start juicing again. I was looking at juice recipes yesterday. I used to drink celery juice like every day. So those are up there. And then this, love this feature. So the tins, I would love to buy some non-toxic tins. I was saying that to Andre. I just got new cutting boards. Love these. They're non-toxic and they're very forgiving. Pizza tray. Oh, look how cute our charcuterie board is. Look at it. Pizza Planet. It's technically a pizza thing, but we use it for charcuterie. Little cooking tool. This is also from that same brand. It's a skillet. Is that how you, no, not a skillet. Like a cooktop. Like you can use it as you can cook breakfast, you can cook pancakes on it. And then this is also a charcuterie board. It's a slate board. And then up there is just some like really nice china from my parents and serving bowls and stuff. Okay, now that you've seen everything, look at our fridge. I love this fridge. It's incredible. Let me give you a fridge tour. It might not be super clean. So there's one handle. When we were touring the store and the guy showed me this, I'm like, wait, that's it? Like that's all there is? No, there's 2 handles that you can grab. You can grab this handle also. This is your beverage center, automatic water dispenser. Like this will fill back up and then you have your water dispenser. And then we have our beverages here. Usually we have like bubbly up here. Like I said, Andre's doing groceries. And then you can grab the whole fridge and it can open. Is that not insane? Listen, the little things make me happy. Veggies. A lot of leftovers. Like we cook a lot. These are my banana muffins that I've been making that I really want to have. I got this little Lazy Susan thing for like whenever there's like a chopped up lemon or whatever. And then my apples and then condiments. Like there's so much room. I freaking love it. But look, the coolest thing, this is called a flex drawer. The other thing that's really cool too, I feel like even for like the ladies or the fellers, you choose the panel that you want. They had pink. Imagine you could do like, oh my gosh, for my she shed, imagine. This is a flex drawer. You can set this to freezing. We call this like our charcuterie drawer. So it's like cheeses and meats and stuff. So it's like a soft temperature, but yeah, you can set the temperature. And then freezer. I've got my creamy stuff. Look at the freaking ice machine. I don't understand why there's so many like things to get to it, but crushed ice. Well, not crushed ice. I call this martini ice. Nugget ice. It's fancy. And then the big ice. And then there's more room down here. Baguette and all the meats we go to a local farm to get our meats. I freaking love this fridge. I was so unsure and it was I think it was like hugely on sale. I don't want to say the wrong price, but it was really good. It's a Samsung. Freaking love it. So I will say if I was to be like Miss Negative Nancy, the one thing with this kitchen is, let's say you're over there getting utensils and you need to go over here, you're walking all the way around every time, but I still love it. There's nothing that I would change. I wouldn't have had a gap in between. Like I love it. Like I said, the only thing that needs to be changed is this countertop. It's very pretty, but it will not be forgiving. See, like this is from I don't know, I did something. I think this is from something. I have no idea. But it smells good in here. So yeah, this is, did I show you pretty much everything? Bar stool. Have I shown you everything? I think so. Love that. And then the beams from the original build, obviously we left. I need to go up there and take down that hook. There was how would I say, like powerless light fixture. Like it was a battery operated light fixture. When we first moved in, I took that down, but I never took the hook down. So I'm gonna go do that. And then let's go this way. Also, I just got these wellies and I'm leaving them there because I think it's such a vibe and I use them I just got them. I've already used them a ton. I freaking love them. We just got this carpet, total win. I think I like it off to the side. Oh, you didn't see the mirror. So we just got this mirror. It's Gigantor, but I love it. It's from Restoration Hardware as well. So this was a splurge along with that little kitchen table. Not as crazy as I thought it would be compared to like, listen, why are mirrors so expensive? And then there's one that's way less expensive. They don't ship to Canada, but I'll link it because it's the one I wanted and it's even bigger and such bang for buck. The sled bench was custom. That same friend that's building a ladder built this for us. And then the same cushion is exactly what I did in the kitchen. So just different fabric. And then these little cushions, I have them all over the house. They're so cute. They're from Amazon. I think I'm going to take these hooks down. I keep saying I need to take that fire extinguisher and put it in the closet or something because it's an eyesore. I took down all of our Christmas decor outside. I swept outside. I mean, listen, that tree is frozen in there, but we're getting there. All right, powder room. So let me put my coffee down. This closet, the internal walls were all moved over. And the purpose of this, I'll show you in a second. So I have this like little area. So all the walls internally were all moved. It was to make more room, not only for the powder room, but for the pantry. So the before of this bathroom, it was very red and it was smaller. So you would literally, like, you come through our front door, not that we have a ton of guests, but just visually, the toilet was right there. And there was no turn around the corner. So I feel like it's so much better now. The floor continues into here and like the floor is so pretty. I love it. And it's giving like Alpine Lodge. Like it's just, and it's such a forgiving floor too. I just love it. It was definitely, when we were looking at this floor in the tile store, I was like, this is the gutsier, I think I said ballsier choice, but I kind of love it. And we went with it. And one tip I can give you, I did this for this room as well as the kitchen. In Canva, I just did a collage of the light fixtures, the tiles, and just kind of visually looked at it all together, and it helped so much. So in here, I just did these little curtains. It was like a total little DIY project. I bought a tension rod in brass off of Amazon, and then I got these off of Amazon as well. So just a little bit of privacy, but also like a little bit of charm. The inspiration for this room is these lights. They're giving Snow White. I freaking love them. And I'm thinking that we need wallpaper, and this is where you come in. Do you have a suggestion? Because I have many options, but I don't know what I want. I definitely want like a forest theme. I want it to be dark and moody. And here's the thing. You can't tell that these tiles are freaking green because the wall is so green, but these are, see if I take away the wall color, then you can really see that they're green. So they're the exact same ones as what's in the kitchen, but green, very charming. Then I've got our little soap. I got this little stone sink, super inexpensive. I think it was like $100, super inexpensive. It was great. Same thing with this. We're actually gonna change these to French, so it's a little charming and a little cute. I got this napkin tray, like if we have guests, little napkins. And then I got this for spring/Easter, as well as this little candle. Little basket under here. And then the exposed tap is really pretty. So the same guy that did our hood, the wood, he did this, and he's gonna build us 2 shelves to go right here so I can put like flowers and stuff. And then I just got a basket with like all the extras. I don't even know where the old toilet is. It's probably gone in a dumpster somewhere, but we got a black one. It's a vibe. And then I brought this home from Anthropology, and I thought it was so cute. I got it on clearance. Just, the details. And then that mirror we got that at the same spot as it was on sale. It was perfect. Mirrors can be so expensive, like deceivingly expensive. So this one I think was like very reasonable, and it's from the same place as we got the oven. Random, but it was like an appliance store. So yeah, wallpaper is needed. I think it's gonna add such charm. And then we have, everything's on a dimmer, so these lights can go like really low. Right? And then with the little candle, it's a vibe, I love it. So now you've gotten the full transformation of the before of the powder room, the before of the kitchen. I feel like we were very successful, and honestly, we're thrilled at the outcome. And also just the view of when you're coming down, or even just when you come into the house now with this arch, it's kind of rewarding, kind of a lot rewarding when a vision comes to life. So yeah, when you're coming down the steps, you just see the stone. One question that I keep getting asked a lot too is, well, are you gonna redo the stone on the fireplace? So let me turn this around so you can see both. So we have the same, that like boulder stone. It's just this one is very gray and this one is very not gray. Would we like to? Yes. Will it be expensive? Very. Is it at the top of our priority list? No. Like there's so many other cool projects that we want to take on. So I feel like we're gonna just let that be what it is for now, and we'll get there eventually. I'm racking my brain right now trying to think if I forgot anything on this tour. I thought this video was gonna be like 20 minutes. I was like, there's no way. We've been doing like these really long vlogs and they're gonna be disappointed because like we're not gonna hang out that long. Like it's just a kitchen. I think I said in a prior video, I was like, you guys want a kitchen tour, but like we've been doing long vlogs. Like how the heck? Sure, I can show you. I didn't realize how much there was to show. Oh, there's still more. Under this banquette is all storage. So on the storage note, so right here I have like everything for the barbecue is in here. I can't wait to use our Blackstone. It's like our summer thing. Got my pancake thing. I miss the Blackstone mornings. And yeah, I have baking stuff under there, and then Carl's extra food. So one thing, a really cool thing that I learned from a show, like a home the Home Edit, I believe, is where, I don't want to give credit to the wrong person, but I think that that's what it was. They talked about backfill. I live by this concept that, let's say, yeah, so you know how I was like, oh, I need more Ziploc baggies. I keep all my backfill, so I don't have 2 boxes of Ziploc baggies in that drawer. Anything that I have extra, I keep a backfill drawer or bin or anything. So let's say I have an extra ketchup. So before I go to buy more ketchup or more Ziplocs, I check my backfill drawer. Does that make sense? So that way it's all in one area. So I know that I have my extra Ziplocs, I have some extra foil, and that way whenever I need to restock, you can call it a restock drawer, they call it a backfill drawer. I just think it's so smart. So then I can grab my extra Ziplocs and fill up that area. It just allows for a lot less excess, a lot less waste, a lot less buying things for nothing. I mean, it still happens. I feel like we all have that thing that we buy too much of. Like, or you already have a lot and you're like, why did I buy more? For me, it's oats. I keep buying rolled oats, but here's the kicker. The other day I go to make my banana muffins. I was like, where's the oats? I didn't have any. I had oat bran. I did not have oats. So this is your note to have a backfill drawer. So I think I've shown you everything. I hope that you guys enjoyed the tour. Thank you for being a part of this with me. And I just want to show you, look how cute. So this is with all the lights on. It is so much brighter. I feel like I should pull up a video from like when we first moved in. It's so hard to film when it's dark and dim because you just want good lighting and you want to be able to show everything. It was so dark when we first moved in. But that being said, even with all the lights off, you know what I love? The silhouette of the 7 dwarfs in the window. I think it's the coolest freaking thing. So yeah, even with all the lights off, it's still super bright in here and we love it. We're so happy. And thank you for all the nice comments because we worked really hard on this and it was a huge goal. There was ups and downs, and I know that I show this and I'm like, this is the kitchen and it looks great and you're seeing the end product. A lot of people didn't see the ups and downs of this project. I have shared it before. I think on stories, I shared the story of like, we were all steam ahead on the kitchen and then we weren't, and it was super disappointing. Like I cried. I just thought we weren't going to do it. And then we found somebody local. We worked with a lot of local companies for this, which was so rewarding. And they're so kind. It was just cool to work with all the local people, and they're just so chill and so awesome. And I can't wait to do another project with them. So it would be really nice to be able to take the same concept, like very Mediterranean, very chill, very relaxed, and duplicate this for our bathroom upstairs, like where my tub is. I would honestly even use the same floor. I would love to do the same stone. I already have concepts for it, but that's going to be like I think it's kind of cool to have like long-term goals too. So the next project, to answer the question, will probably be like the outside construction and creating just a really beautiful little oasis out there with the hot tub and the sauna. And then I got to get back to work and be able to create more things so that we can, do cool renos and share all the stuff. But thank you for caring, first of all. Honestly, I didn't think anybody would care about these home decorations and renovations that we do. But honestly, I love sharing this type of thing. Sorry that my camera died, so this was very informal, but I kind of love it. I kind of love that it's informal. And if you have any questions about where we got anything or even suggestions of things that you're like, oh, you could do this, I'm all ears all the time, and I will try and answer as many questions as I can. I do my best to answer every single comment. But we love it here. This is a dream home, and I can't believe that we found this house and we're just slowly making it our own. And I feel like we were able to up level the kitchen without, like I said, without losing the rustic charm of the house, but we definitely modernized it, which I love. I'm so happy. So thank you for caring. Seriously, it means the world. I hope you guys enjoyed this kitchen tour that I thought was going to be really quick, but I'm glad that we got to hang out today. The powder room transformation, amongst all the other things, I'm sure that I forgot to show you something. So like I said, if you have questions, by all means, I can answer them in the next vlog, but I'll definitely answer your comments too. I'm gonna go bake some muffins and sit right here with my coffee and wait for my husband to come home. I love you guys. I will see you same time, same place next week. By the way, I posted about this on my stories. I have decided to stop filming things and not posting them. Not long form. Short form, I get very self-conscious. I don't know why. I'm very fine sharing everything on YouTube. It's like I am an open book on YouTube. Maybe it's from the length of which I've been doing it, but with TikTok and Instagram, I get very insecure and very shy. And I feel stupid. I'm just telling you the honest truth. I just feel dumb whenever I'm sharing that stuff. So today I kind of made this vow that I'm just gonna, if I film it, I'm just gonna start sharing it. Because I think that they can act as almost like little mini vlogs, that these longer ones, we hang out, we talk, and I show you stuff, and we like really sit down and you can like do your makeup, or I don't know, kind of watch it like a movie or just hang out. Like the other day I did that. I watched someone's vlog and I truly understood when you guys say you like the longer ones, because you can really set up and chill. Then I was thinking there could be a separate level of like 5-minute videos. On TikTok especially allows for that. Instagram needs to get its act together. Instagram will do it, but here's what they said today. They're like, we'll post this. We're just not gonna show it to new people because it's over 3 minutes. I was like, cool. I do whatever you wanna do. Just show it to the people that follow. I don't care. Do what you wanna do. And then I wanna do like the quick, so I'm gonna show the transformation in I don't know how long that's gonna be, probably like a 30-second clip of showing the transformation. So I would have 3 levels of video, like very short form, which to me is the most difficult because as you can tell, I have a lot to say and a lot to show, and I can't fit all my thoughts into 30. So I don't know how people do it in 9 seconds, but I can't do that. I will. But my goal is to continue to share that. So if you're ever in between a vlog, either go find the playlist. Like I try and list playlists of older videos because even the older ones are sometimes a vibe. Like the Summerween ones and stuff are gonna start becoming a thing. So definitely go check those out. But if you're in between and you're like, I'd love a little hangout session with Angie, there is other places where I'm posting. So, and I'm sharing all the behind the scenes with subscribers on Instagram. There's a lot in the works. A lot of cool projects behind the scenes that I can't talk about. Yesterday we started working on production for Christmas, Halloween and Christmas. So there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of amazing things. I love the heck out of you guys, and thank you for just, like I said, I keep saying, thank you for caring about what I'm sharing, and I hope that it can serve as a little bit of inspiration and a little cozy day for you to hang out with me. So with that said, I will see you guys very soon. Make sure that you're following on all those other platforms. I will link everything in the comments down below, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, dudes.